Check, 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 check. 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 Check, check. Check, check. This is the third one. Okay. Alright. I guess I'll just give it a start. It's my first time streaming here, so going to be learning. All right. Okay, I think we're good to go for now. We'll just give it a shot and see what happens, figure it out later. So, gonna be starting a new one. Let's reorganize all my stuff here. New painting. Have no idea what I want to do. So I'm going to do full scale thumbnails. Let's give it a shot. Full size thumbnail process. I try to do thumbnails. I try to get things put down and iterate on ideas, and it never, I can't follow through, and it never looks good anyway, so I end up doing something completely different when I go to do my full-size painting. I don't even implement the thumbnails, any of the ideas anyway, so this one, I have no idea really which project I even want to go for. They're all going to be from one of my big projects from the Nova Bound universe, and each one is going to be implemented in the final product. So I have hundreds of paintings to get through to get this project done. It's going to be from that, but I don't know which one or what, so I'm just sort of brainstorming, just sort of riffing, and maybe some digital jazz can happen. I can start to come up with an idea. That is one thing I would love to know, is how, what are people's processing, you know, how do they process, or how do they go about concepting? I just kind of scribble and daydream, so I know people have these really elaborate, they take notes. I've seen other artists take notes on their on their painting. That's too much for me. I just scribble. So I'm going to decide some major things here. Is this a portrait? Is this a character pose? Or is this an environment? I think if I could hone in on a specific image, a specific painting I need to do, let's work on a blink blade. Let's work on a dagger. I think for this dagger, I want this to actually be a fighting scene. Now, for the final art, it's going to be rendered on a square aspect ratio, but I'm gonna have a full-on, you know, portrait painting as a finished piece of art. But the final image itself has to be in a square orientation. So I'm gonna frame this out. I'll just do some simple stuff here. Set up my canvas a little bit. We'll try that. Cool, there, let's center it. Looks great. Let's set the stroke. Oh, that's too much. Make it 10 pixels. Fine, looks good. Should probably do a grid. I don't really want to do any kind of grid stuff, but let's just do it and have it in here. So grid. If you draw, diagonal lines corner to corner, you're gonna find the center point, and from the center point, let's change up these colors. From the center point, you can cut the image in half. So I'll cut this thing in half. Cool, and then we have these center points crossing the top and bottom. So if we draw more diagonal lines from those points to the corners, corner to center, I'll do the upside down triangle here as well. So I'll select both of these. This one, and this one. And flip it. Okay, what that does is get us the thirds. We can set up, do this art math, set up the rule of thirds grid here. So these intersections right here, we can draw some lines up. I'm doing this in shades of gray. I'm going to color these lines later. I should have started with colored lines, but I didn't. So these lines right here cut the image into thirds. So we got the vertical thirds. can do the horizontal thirds. If I take these triangles, copy, paste, rotate them, since we're working in a square, we can get away with it. This might be total overkill to do all of these triangles in here for the grid, but those didn't duplicate. Let's try it again. Gotta be thorough. So being that it's a square, those original intersections would give us the horizontal thirds as well, but I might like these angles as a compositional tool as well. So I'm leaving the triangles in here just to get a fully built out grid here. I should just have this thing pre-made, ready to go, but it's not my style. I should have a default project where all this stuff just opens up. Great. Smash this thing together. I want the angles and all the diagonals smashed together and the straights. Together. This is my frame. Great, so I've got the angles and the straights. Now I can use this little selection box here. Delete. Cool. So I'm obviously streaming this right now. I highly doubt anyone will join the stream, but I am also recording this. All of these videos get put on YouTube, so I'm just going to continue that process in a much more honest recording sesh, right? All of my videos have been edited and all the chatter trimmed out, but I'm going to just post these live sesh videos. I think what a lot of artists need to see nowadays is how long this stuff takes. You can't just push a button and get it done, though some people believe that. I'm all about AI. AI is amazing. We should all use AI. That is the future. And if you are a stubborn artist who refuses to get on board, you will be left behind. Stop being ridiculous. You don't need to create AI art, but you need to be on top of the future. Artists are a bunch of whiners. Everybody complained when cameras came out too. That didn't stop people from making art, and neither will AI, so just get over it. That's my rant. All right, let's get back into it. That's what grids do to me. They make me rant about AI. All right, so fingers are too fast. I'm hitting all these hotkeys. Let me just go back to my screen. Oh my, there it is. Great. So this is my new layer. This is my grid. I'll keep the frame, the diagonals here. Yeah, I didn't like the way that happened, but it doesn't matter. Great. Cool. Okay. Okay. We're back. All right, so let's get into this. I like this sort of high perspective building thing I got going on, but I might switch gears to that blade idea. So I want this to be more of an action shot. We've got to emphasize the blade in here. Let me, for my sanity, color up this grid. Because I must. All right. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. My panels got all messed up at some point. Great. Great grid. Sort of organizational stuff. I always preach organize your stuff. I see people with hundreds of layers in here. Sheesh, I know I smash layers all the time, but how are you going to find anything with hundreds of layers going on? Anyway, let's take a look. I'm going to sketch out some more shapes. So I want this to be action shot, and we need a blade in the front. We need this to be action, something like this. Maybe somebody over here swinging this thing. At somebody over here. I've been trying to imagine this piece of art for probably 2 years now, and I still don't know what I want this one to be. Could just have it be a static, boring, somebody standing, holding it, something like that. They're looking this way, held backwards. That seems so... I don't know, something needs something more dynamic. So if I have somebody swinging like this, okay, like this, Gotta pose out this stuff. Talk to my students about posing characters, and some of them just refuse to get up and make the pose. If you can't stand up and pose out these poses, what are you even doing? So, I should research knife fighting. Anybody that knows me, I am all about world building. I gotta learn a traditional knife fighting style just so I can paint it correctly and accurately. So we got this here. I need to tilt this elbow up if that's what we're going for. So elbow, knife, action, coming in hot, swinging. Here it is. Taking a step forward. Something like that. Let's get the knife centered. Bigger. This particular world is overrun with interesting creatures, enemies. I could put that over here, centered around this. Then we can have the knife sort of follow this line, this diagonal. Could have that second area of focus right there, and then all of the action taking place like that. That might be an interesting composition. It feels empty on the bottom, so we'd have to have some kind of balance. Maybe space it out. Let's put, if we want the knife to follow this diagonal, then this needs to be into the distance more, whatever this is. So we need some perspective. So let's get a horizon line in here. Horizon line, we want about here. Okay. If this person is that far into the distance with the horizon, then this is wrong. We need say my character is this tall. My character is roughly going to be this tall in the scene. I've got feet down here, head up here. So we can draw vanishing lines from the top of the character and the bottom of the character to this vanishing point, which means if this opponent is roughly the same size and they're standing here, they're going to be this tall. Kind of far away for a knife fight, eh? So let's bring them forward, standing here. If they're standing here, they're going to be about this tall. This tall. A little better, maybe. bring that over to the rule of thirds line a little bit. About there. Then I think we should tweak the angle on this knife. So we're following this diagonal. Let's shift it up to this diagonal, but up here. That looks better. Perpendicular lines, that's what we want. Perpendicular lines. Cool. Let's do some light rendering. I mean, that composition is okay. We need some more context over here. Yeah, it's a little weighted. Trying to focus on the knife for a knife fight just seems silly. Alright, so there's my full-size thumbnail. People ask me why I zoom out and paint like this. I'm making thumbnails. Here. Making thumbnails. Alright. Do over, new thumbnail. Let's reconsider this shot. Maybe we do portrait. Asymmetrical. That's something I can do too. Is oops. It's not believable. Nobody would hold a knife like that. Something like this, right? Something like this. So maybe this could be the pose. Then we gotta focus on this up here. Something like that. Can I take a screenshot of myself doing this? don't think so. I don't think I can take a screenshot of myself. Gotta get in there. Let's try it again. I think I can do it. We don't want to. Something like that. And then I want this hand too. Yeah. Like that. There it is. Great. Let's throw these in here. Do art like a pro. www.doartlikeapro.com. All right. So there's the hand. There's the plate. Let's just do it. So I'm going to blow it up so I can frame it before I start drawing it, but all right, something. Something like that. Doesn't look very menacing. Me. Okay, cool. So let's just mark we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. May thy knife chip and shatter. It's got to be in the square. So that's fine, I guess. Let's go for that. Try it out. It's just a thumbnail, right? Cool. So let's try this out. We need something like this. This angle on the finger is important. Yeah. Not that much down there. Communicate that grip. There we go. Now if it's in the fist this way, then the blade will be Edge of the blade, let's make it something like this. I want to stay away from direct Dune imagery here, but we can definitely have some inspiration. Well, you know, I do like the coloring process over the drawing process, but sometimes the puzzle of it is still fun. It's like doing a puzzle, but you are cutting out the puzzle pieces and none of them fit. Let's see. Something like that. These kind of turn down. These need to keep this arch. These need to turn down a little bit. Just about there. The pinky is fatter. I can't really see. Oh man, that was way off. Oh well, I'll make it up. Bottom curve up straight into the thumb. Thumb. And I got goony hands. I got artist little hands. Like a goon. All right. This emphasized. This emphasized. Yeah. Get a little bulk on there, why not? Bulk. if you notice the way I'm painting, I erase with the paintbrush, painting the background color. And I can just flip back and forth between my colors. I'm getting away from that. Okay. Fine. Poseworks does the composition work. Let's find out. Let's keep going. New layer. Keep that arm. Like it. Save it. Print it. Okay. For the face. How do we want this? This needs some kind of neck right here. And this is gonna cool. That's looking good. And also stupid. Microphone crash. Microphone crash. All right. So again, I'm just recording my thoughts and jumbles, mumbles and jumbled ideas down here, just recording everything. I was editing videos like this because I thought it'd be nicer to see more of the art, more of the finished stuff. But it turns out I don't finish anything. No, so I think it's nice to see an entire process. I got lost down some other artists' YouTube channels, and I found the videos I was watching the most were the ones where they were just raw and talking and no camera cuts, everything just recorded out. And so I thought I could do sort of the same thing. Problem here is, so I've started this Twitch channel. You can find me on Twitch if you're watching from YouTube. You can find me on Twitch, and I'll be streaming here on Thursdays. I have no idea what I'm doing with Twitch. Never been on Twitch, so I don't know what I'm doing with that. It's gonna be a learning process. So you guys can help me out, give me some tips on Twitch. And I don't know what I'm sketching here with this. So I'm gonna be recording these videos from the live stream, right? And as this live stream grows, where you can talk about techniques, can turn this into a study session. We can turn it into a learning session. Ask me questions. We can work on stuff together, whatever you want. For now, I'm just drawing and painting my own stuff until this starts to come through and starts to fill out. So I'm going to be putting up these YouTube videos with all of my random thoughts. No edits, just to see what happens. Not quite sure how I want this garb to look. Because right now it looks like garb. My garb looks like garb. So I think for the lighting, we need to emphasize the blade. Let's go back. I need to emphasize the blade. So I think I'm going to pull all of this down. Whoops. Great. Or skew it. Get a more foreshortened perspective in here. That actually might not be too bad, but I'll wait on that. Keep everything front facing and put the hand in. Let's look at the my amazing pose here. By the way, I'm working on this little thing. I want to be an inspiration to young artists out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money. To do this. Grab one of these, just start painting. Grab a pencil and paper, just start drawing. Been made fun of for my little tablet. It works. Great. So hand big, foreshortened. Let's do this in red. Coming up in front of the face. Finger, thumb. Drawing hands, you gotta look at angles and curves. The curve of the tips of the fingers, the knuckles, the hand, and then some of these angles, right, from the top of the finger to the top of the thumb. If I can get this line to be parallel to the reference, I know that I'm on the right track for these proportions. So don't just start outlining fingers. And it's going to be wide, something like that. So now, you also want to look at negative space. So what I can do is just chop out these fingers. Keep these kind of the same, separate this one and separate this one. Something like that. Fantastic. I like that warding posture. Definitely needs some more rendering in here to make it look accurate for this pose. I don't. Just add in some scribbles. Yeah, so maybe somewhere in there. Where's my group? Let's tweak this. Yeah, maybe coming forward a bit. Fingers coming forward a bit more. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so this one, this group, I can throw the hand in there. And I need to check my square. I'm still mentally composing everything. To the entire space, not the square, so it's got to be something more like that, maybe even distort it. Even more. Get rid of these pictures. Needs more hunched over posture, right? So we gotta move the head down. But I think that's a good start. I'm okay with this pose. Again, really small because I'm looking at the thumbnail. People always ask me, why is it so small? I gotta see it. This is like in traditional art, when you step away from your canvas, you work on an easel so you can step backwards and look at your art from a distance. You gotta do the same thing with digital art. See if everything is looking okay. So this was looking okay. Let's flip it. And compositionally, it's still working because I built it on the grid. But we can definitely do some rearranging and filling in next time. Cool. That looks good for this one. Good first sesh. I'll cut it right there, and I will see you in the next video. You guys can check out my YouTube. I'll be posting up all of these recordings to there. As always, I'm going to try and start doing a lot more shorts for little tutorial stuff that you might run into in the creative process using Photoshop, using Procreate, or using any other art tool. that you have in your tool bag or you use in your workflow, putting up all these digital art tips on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts. You can look out for those as well. Follow me, Sleepy C